Hello everyone, I'm back again with one more video. Here I'll discuss my book list which I used to prepare for the CAPF AC paper 1. In fact, this was the same book list which I used while I was preparing for the CDS examination and also my CSE preparation. And using the same book list, I have cleared my CDS thrice and CAPF AC 1 out of 1 in my CAPF AC attempt. So this includes a wholesome chunk of each and every section which I have used, and it is a doable book list. It's not too much and neither too less. So let's delve into the video. So if we go through the previous year's papers, we can break the subjects in these sections. The major broad portions are history, geography, science, polity, economics, some questions of mathematics, and a major chunk of current affairs. But if you ask me which sections are most important in CPF AC exam, I'll say you the first three and the last one. History, geography, science, and current affairs. If you have done these sections holistically and honestly, then take my words, you are going to clear your paper 1. The other portions are also important, but the questions will be doable if you know the basics, and the number of questions are also not that significant. So now let's see each of the sections one by one and how are we going to do them. History is the most notorious section in UPSC exams these days. Take it any examination, be it the CDS or the CSE or CAPF. In every examination, the history questions that UPSC is asking is going like a bouncer over our heads, and we know nothing about how to tackle them. If I talk about myself, what all books I've read for history, so I've read a lot of books for history. Like I've read R.S. Sharma, Bipin Chandra, Spectrum, Satish Chandra, Nitin Singhania, all the NCRTs from 6th to 12th, including those of art and culture. I've also read Tamil Nadu history books, and also I have done Lucent and another one two books which are not too popular, but still I'm not able to do history questions. So my suggestion for you would be that please don't read these many textbooks. So I'll give you a fair mix book list for history, which if you follow, you can score good enough in history and also not refer too many sources. So what would be my recommendation for history? I would recommend you to start with the NCRTs. If you are done with your basics, so I would suggest you to start directly from the class 12th. No need to go from class 6th or 8th. I think we all are smart enough to understand the English and the things are in class 12th NCRTs. So start directly. For ancient there is theme 1, for medieval there is theme 2, and for modern there is theme 3. And with this we are going to mix our Tamil Nadu board textbooks because UPSC is shifting its focus more on ancient South Indian history. If you go through the question papers, you can see a lot questions about South Indian ancient history and also the medieval history sections, the dynasties which emerged, the famous writers or the famous movements that took place in the southern region. So Tamil Nadu board textbooks can prove to be a good friend of yours. There is still one more section left in history, and that is art and culture. A very less talked about section, but there are questions which you can see in the question paper if you go through. So there are NCRTs in class 11th in two parts for art and culture, but I would recommend you to go with Nitin Singhania sir's book. It is holistic. The book may seem to be bulky at first appearance, but once you start reading it, you will find it very easy and very lucid writing in a very simple manner. And also, not all the chapters of these books are to be done, so you can very wisely choose which chapters you are to read and extract the best out of it. So, what would be my final recommendation for history? For ancient history, we are going to do theme 1 of the 12th NCRT plus Tamil Nadu. For medieval history, we are going to do theme 2 plus Tamil Nadu. And for modern, we are going to do theme 3 plus spectrum. I have not attached the image of it, but you can refer to the spectrum textbook for modern history. And for art and culture, Nitin Singhania sir's book is the best. So this you can follow for history. And I bet you can do 70 to 80% of questions of history by referring to only these textbooks. Now let's see geography. Geography is a very important section in CAPF and CDS examination because if you are going to join the forces, you are to know the physical terrain and the physical process that take place in a certain region. So my all-time favorite source for geography is class 11th NCERT, India's Physical Environment and Fundamentals of Physical Geography. These two textbooks are more than enough for geography in all the examinations of UPSC. Do them holistically and multiple times. I have read this book no less than 10 times. So I would request you to do it multiple times and remember everything by heart. All the chapters on drainage patterns, on soils and vegetation are of most importance. So go through them and you will see that geography questions will start to appear easy. Now we come to the third most important section in CAPF and CDS examination, that is science. How are we going to tackle science? The most important friend of yours would be PYQs. I would recommend go to UPSC website, download last 10 years of question paper and start solving them today. The book which I used to prepare for science section was Lucent's General Knowledge. If you have time, you can read NCRTs, but I think Lucent is good. It is in one line format, but it is fairly understandable and good for revision. You can also revise history in your last few days from Lucent, especially the modern history section in this book is fairly okay. Now, if we talk about polity and constitution, the Bible, the Quran of it, M. Lakshmikant, which you can't ignore, and studying it is justified because almost all the questions which will appear in the examination will be doable to you if you refer to this book, read and extract the crux of it, and utilize that knowledge in tackling the questions that appear in the examination. So M. Lakshmikant will be fairly okay. Now, talking about economics. Many of us find economics to be tricky and a bit difficult. I would recommend only one textbook for economics, that is class 12th NCERT on macroeconomics. If you want to read, you can also read the textbook on microeconomics. But the most important thing that you will have to couple it with current affairs because most of the questions of economics would be current affairs driven and sometimes there would be data to remember which you can take from any of current affairs magazine which you may prefer. Now, if I talk about current affairs, it is the most dynamic and most important section in UPSC examinations. There are many sources from where you can do current affairs. There are many coaching institutes which publish magazines. But the one which I prefer and I use is the one released by oneclasses.in. As you can see, their coverage are holistic and they are given in one-liner format, which is easier for me to revise and remember multiple times. I do these magazines 2-3 times before my examination and I can tackle most of the questions of current affairs. So you can download their app or visit their website. It will cost you around 50 rupees per month, but it is worth that investment. You can invest around 50 rupees for a month current affairs and use it. You can also refer to any other current affairs or any other magazine which you may like. Now, if we talk about another one more subject, yes, I'm talking right. Please treat PYQs as a separate subject and devote your time to PYQs as you devote your time to some other subject. I request you to please visit UPSC website and download at least last 10 years question papers. I'm saying at least. If you are able enough and if you have time, you can do even more than last 10 years. But last 10 years of PYQs is mandatory. I would recommend to please download them, please print them and start solving them. Now, some of you will find it very difficult once you start solving them. Here I will give you a trick to solve PYQs. How I used to solve PYQs. I used to take a printout of them. I used to print 4 pages in a single sheet to save pages. So you can also do it for your convenience. Now, how I used to do that, I did it section wise. If I have started doing history questions, I'll do history questions from all the years. If I have started doing science questions, I'll do science from all the years. This way, I finished questions of all the years, and it didn't feel like I'm doing questions of last 10 years or 15 years. So this is a way which I followed. If you like, you can follow it. So this brings us to the end of the slideshow. I have missed one topic. I've done it purposefully. I have not talked about maths. Maths question do also appear in the CSE examination, and solving maths is a completely different phenomena. It requires a completely different strategy. I've seen many students who completely leave the maths question. So it's totally upon you how you prepare mathematics. If I talk about myself, I'm also weak in maths. And how did I do maths then? So I did only PYQs and those topics like time and work, time and distance. These specific topics I used to search on YouTube. There are many awesome teachers on YouTube, so you can pick any one of them which you may like. and start doing your maths preparation. I won't recommend to leave maths question, because if you see the question paper of 2024, maths question were easier. And I was able to do almost all maths question, and I was able to score good because I did good in maths. So with this note, let's wind up the video. Hope you liked it. If you still have any doubts left, so please feel free to put them in comments or directly DM me on Telegram on the Telegram ID given in the pinned comment. Best of luck to all the students who are going to appear in CAPF AC 2025. Hope you see your name in the list.